With Julius sitting out the last 2 weeks of the season with an injury, it still didn't stop article after article dropping on Julius about how the Knicks should get rid of him or he's asking for a trade. But Julius actually spoke directly with the media and he answered some really tough questions. And it's always good to hear directly from Julius. But they're playing a lot of nasty media games. And I started to understand how bad the situation really is with the last few weeks of the season. Like I said, Julius was out the picture, but that did not stop the hate. So Julius was asked about him wanting a trade out of New York. And this is what he had to say.
There was a, I'm sure you heard about it, there was a local radio guy who said that after Monday's game, you went to management and demanded a trade. I was wondering what your response to that was.
Who said it?
David Carton at WFAN.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not crazy. That's not crazy. A major radio station could say this about Julius Randle, that he went to management and asked for a trade. And nobody ever says anything. Like, yo, you fucked up. How can you just say that out the blue?
not true, bro. It's just not true. It's as simple as that, bro. It's just not true at all.
I know you said a few maybe months ago that you want to be here long term.
If it ain't come from me, it ain't true.
How committed are you still to?
My answer ain't changing, bro.
And this is the trick bag they try to put you in. Once again, the business model of the media, especially in New York, is to find that weak point that triggers the Knicks fan base and exploit that. And this season they figured out is Julius Randle. We're basically going to troll the Knicks fan base about Julius Randle because we understand that gets them emotional and they're going to click on the articles and we're going to run ads. And that's how we're going to get them. We're going to get the eyeballs and clicks that exact way. It's basically easy money for them.
Easy money.
Now, Randle was asked if his relationship with the fan base is strained, and pay attention to the way they asked the question. It's almost like if he fully answered it, it was like a double trap either way. Pretty much the games that they play.
It did look last year, Julius, like you had a great relationship with the city and the fan base. This year it does, from the outside looking in, it does look a little strained. Would you at least agree with that assessment? And if so, why is it different?
Probably something you should ask yourself, man. I'm not really sure.
You don't agree with that?
I mean, I'm cool, bro. Like I said, my goal and what I work hard for is to make the city proud, to make the fans proud. I play for my teammates, play for my family, and it's as simple as that, bro. Like it's nothing more than that. So from the inside looking out, it is what it is. And I understand that a lot of times you got to just kind of let your game do the talking and go from there. But like I said, man, I love the city. I love my family loves it here, and I'm a Knick. That's what I love. I love being a Knick. So.
Yeah, I think Julius, he's finally understanding what this media game is all about. That's why he made that comment from the inside looking out. Julius is starting to pick up on the game, on how this all works in New York. And it'll be interesting to see if he hollered at Carmelo Anthony, man, to get some game, because Melo definitely had great composure while being in New York. Now, Julius Randle was asked a question about his son being at the games, and sometimes he would have to leave or not attend the games due to all the heckling. And this, to me, is the most important part, because we have to keep in mind that these guys are human. As we've seen this year play out with Will Smith, these guys have emotions. They're human. Just because they get millions of dollars through the media or they're famous, it doesn't absolve them from some sort of humanity. I feel like sometimes people lose touch base with these things. It's very unfortunate. But Julius Randle, I believe this is the biggest part of some of his struggles this season. Some of the treatment his family members have been getting. I've seen it online to the point where they're even coming after his wife, even though she just had a baby, and they're making comments about his kid, which is crazy. But just going back to some of his family members, particularly his wife, just being a man, and a lot of us have to deal with our ladies, man, especially if our ladies look decent, them being on social media, it kind of affects their moods at times, And I'm pretty sure all the heckling that she's been receiving online, has been an issue that's been brought up to him countless of times. I mean, sometimes us fellas, we don't really pay attention to things on social media as much as our ladies do. And sometimes things tend to spill over in real life due to the fact that a lot of our ladies love the social media thing. And of course, we're going to have to hear about it all the time. And I'm pretty sure he's been hearing about it all season long. It could just be her posting a simple picture of their newborn baby and then people making reckless comments. So once again, even though I'm pretty sure Julius don't give a fuck about social media, but him being like the rest of us fellas, sometimes we get pulled in because our ladies are so attached to it. Once again, these guys are only human.
These athletes, by the time they get to where you are probably used to hearing cheers, boos. But is it hard sometimes? I know your family is always there, front court, center, right there. Is it hard to know that they're there and hear that when it's not?
I mean, that's probably where most of my frustration comes from. You know, I got my 5-year-old son that's there and is obsessed with the game of basketball and loves the game of basketball, and he doesn't understand what's going on. And that was probably my biggest frustration. Coming from him. The time that I sacrificed from him to put into this game, and he's daddy's little boy. He loves his dad. So
that's interesting right there. He said the time that he sacrificed away from his kids in order to put in work to please the fan base, and the fan base is going ahead and talking shit about his kid. That's gotta hurt. Once again, these guys are human, and we gotta take some of these things into consideration. And once again, a lot of the fan base, they're falling for the trolling of the media. Because once again, the business model is to troll the Knicks fan base and not covering them necessarily. It's trolling them into an emotional state so they could click on the articles, and so the media companies could basically run ads.
For him to experience that and, him being uncomfortable and, having to leave the games and stuff like that, as a father, that's what bothered me more than anything. But at the same time, you got to understand it comes with the territory.
And that's an unfortunate thing. It should not be like that. That comes with the territory being in New York. That's what he really meant. And if that's the perception that a lot of players have of New York, it's going to be hard to get free agents to come here. That's a realization that the fan base has to come to.
At the end of the day, the narrative can always, flip. So I understand that. I understand it's New York City. I understand that's just what comes with it, and I understand how passionate our fans are. So you just kind of got to live with the good and the bad.
Yeah, when things are great, they're really great. But like Melo said earlier in the segment that I played, a lot of it has to do with the media. The media is playing a lot of games, and not only do the Knicks have to go up against their opponents every single night, they have to go up against the media every single night. And it's very unfortunate. But once again, Julius Randle is under a favorable contract by the Knicks, but this season it's been revealed that Julius Randle's name is a trigger point to run ads and get clicks and write bullshit articles. And it's a very unfortunate thing. And to my fellow Knicks fans, is it me, or did Julius Randle this season take more heat than LeBron James? I mean, LeBron James was able to choose Russell Westbrook and have another player, Anthony Davis, which equates to 2 players that made the NBA All-75, but yet they couldn't draw a better record than the Pelicans and Spurs. But it seems like Julius Randle took more heat than they did. I mean, damn.
Surgical summer with it. Snip, snip, snip.
Just keep in mind, while Julius Randle was taking heat on a Knicks team with no championship expectations, the media was still painting the picture that the Lakers would be fine going into February to make the playoffs. But it's very odd, man. I feel like Randle took a lot more heat than LeBron James did this season. Very interesting times that we're in. Keep in mind, LeBron James has missed the playoffs 2 out of the 4 years being in LA. So to all my fellow Knicks fans, don't let the media trick you out of your positioning of having a favorable contract with Julius Randle. Of course, they're going to dick ride the Lakers all the way, but the reason why Randle doesn't qualify for a Supermax contract is because of the dysfunction of the Lakers. Keep in mind, the Lakers are the most successful dysfunctional franchise in sports. And right now with Julius Randle's contract, the longer the Knicks stay in it, the more beneficial it is for them. So the Laker dysfunction is still paying dividends for the Knicks even to this day. So having a guy that can get 20 and 10 and him not even breaking the bank for the highest top 40 players paid, it says a lot, man. Once again, don't let them fool you and trick you out of your positioning. So to my fellow Knicks fans, your energy is 1 of 1. It can't be duplicated or faked. And it's definitely not on some bandwagon shit like the Lakers.
Surgical Summer Volume 1.